Good morning, folks. Eric here from Hepperle Designs. I wanted to start this morning with just a quick overview of my daily logging system. In a nutshell, I've tried different systems that I've developed over the years. Starting from just jotting things down in a text file to different, more complicated versions. And I even at one time built a Perl CGI based daily logging application, which at the time I didn't know how to do. I didn't know anything about databases. So I actually wrote it to update multiple, create an update folder of multiple different files, one file for each day or whatever, and then merge it into a month file at the end. But obviously that's a little bit more involved. And so what I wanted to do was have a way that I could make quick notes with some kind of formatting so that it would stand out a lot easier and would be much more searchable. At this point in time, what the system setup that I have, I guess, is VS Code, and I'm using an extension for this white section you see on the right. This is an extension called Markdown Preview. So if I go over here to my extensions and just say Markdown, you should be able to see Markdown Preview GitHub styling. Okay, there it is right there. And then that makes it white instead of black, even though the theme that I'm using is black, as you can see there. And that works for me. So I can type over here. I'll just show you at the top. I can live type and say, hey, check this out. And what I'm typing on the left in the actual text file is showing what the rendered version will look like in the Markdown Preview window. Now, the only issue that we really have is Markdown Preview really does a great job of honoring HTML and different stuff like that. But when you push it to GitHub, GitHub doesn't honor the HTML rendering, right? It renders HTML as just HTML. So I tried to find a way, let me just undo that. I tried to find a way to, I guess, make a system that I could type quickly and add a little bit of formatting. And the emojis really helped a lot. Once I discovered emojis and how to use them to categorize things, you can see here I've got a whole project section. And then I've got web projects here. And that actually links to this other file where I've got different web projects. And then the things that haven't been sorted over to there yet are under here. Now, before it was all chaos. I would just put it wherever, as I thought of it. And that's still how we'll do it. We'll put it wherever as I think of it. But now that everything sort of has a home, if I remember, I can jump up and put it where it goes. Also, another thing I was doing was that you can just look at yesterday's. I have all these sections in the to-dos, right, with these custom banners, custom horizontal rules, I guess you might say. And this one's for ministry and prayer items. This one's for employment. And so I've got ministry and prayer items in here. But I thought I'd be clever and indicate what type of project it was so that if I'm looking for, it's like, oh, okay, I've been doing video recording I need a break from that. Let me go do a documentation project. Then I could just see, oh, okay, these little scroll icons represent documentation. And so that would help me pick that out quickly. But that is not best for my workflow. What I discovered is that actually having this stuff, each one of these items in the ministry and prayer section, be represented by a ministry sort of emoji was much better, and I'll show you why. So if I go over here, one of the things I do in the morning, because I work and work and work, and I'm tenacious, and I'm really kind of a workaholic, and so I'll get like a terrier. I'll be on something and I won't let it go. And so the end of the day will come, and I'll have been researching something or working on a project, and I'm tired. I don't remember everything. So as I'm going along, what I'm doing is I'm making these notes here about stuff that I'm doing, but anything that's super important that I'm going to want to remember for later, especially for when I compile the weekly reports that I'm going to start doing, that stuff comes down here. So this is today's progress is just kind of like a general list, bullet list, executive review of the things that I did today. And then tomorrow's tasks, the things that are high on tomorrow's priority list, should go here. I haven't been doing tomorrow's tasks as much. I started in the beginning, about 2 months ago when I first started with this new revised, the system that I showed you over here, right? This version of it. But anyway, so this area right here is basically where I can make quick scratch notes. But like I said, if there's anything that I've completed, I'll put it down here and say, okay, this item project was completed. This is so that when I go over and look at tomorrow, what today was, I say, okay, this is what I spent my time on today. So, all right. Anyway, so when I get up in the morning, when I come in the morning, what I do is I search for any blank, uncompleted tasks, right? And those are the ones that look like this right here, as you see me selecting. And that's what this regex selects. And hopefully you can see that. Let me see. Maybe I definitely can zoom it in a little bit. That might help. Okay. And so this is bracket, basically regex. And then this way, I can quickly look and see what type of project this is. So before, it would not show me what type of project I was looking at. If I close that one down and make sure it's only showing me this one. Say I would have to look and say, okay, this is for the Dell QCT desktop computer. And then I'd have this condition transaction records. And I wasn't able to quickly discern. I'd have to sit and read it, and that takes more time. So to streamline the process, what I've discovered was, with one exception, this right here, all these little construction square triangle things, that represents things that aren't digital, that I have to physically, go fix something, go buy something, go make something, that kind of thing. Those are all kinds of physical things, and everything else is pretty much digital. So it's good, but it's kind of a mess, you can see here. So now if I go back over to today's item, and I don't have anything sensitive or private too much in here, no passwords or anything, but so that's why I'm showing you this as is. But along the way, that's what I'll do is I'll add like passwords in the scratch section. Right? Oh, that's that one again. Why is that one again? Let's try this. Okay. Do that and go here. Yeah, every time I got to do that. All right. And so now I can quickly see, oh, okay, these are all the ministry items. These are all my job hunt and employment type things. And anything that starts with this globe is going to be a web development or coding type project. Obviously, these are ideas, things that I haven't started doing yet. And generally, the ideas are not things that I'm doing as a client project, but they're thoughts about personal projects I can do and different things to organize better. Okay, let's see. Finish sorting. Yeah, you see I'm using like a file sort emoji for the sorting. And this one right here is for an event that's coming up that I need to look into. And so I'm using the calendar for that. So I'm really happy with how it looks now. And so now there's actually, this will allow me to do something else pretty cool. I'll be able to take, let's go up there. I'll be able to take this and search for, let's see what I want to search for. So what I'm using is these balls to represent high priority items. And the green balls actually, yeah, see, that's not going to show. I'm going to collect that over here off screen. The green ball, well, I guess it's still on screen, but anyway. And then the purple ball, they are both indicators of priority. And the green ball tells me the things that I said a month or two ago. So they're older things that were priority that still haven't been done. And purple is the latest things and the highest priority in general. So, and I may end up just converting them all back to a green ball. But so let's do this. And we'll say, make that a character class. And now I have everything that's high priority. I can sort it like that. So here are documentation items that are high priority. So these are things that don't neatly fit into other projects. They're mostly like project management, my personal files organization, stuff like that. Create a progress report for this last week. There's another item that doesn't neatly fit into really anything else. So documentation projects. And then here's side hustles for my TeePublic store I just created. Oh, let me show you that real quick. Because after I finish with this video, that's going to be the next thing I do is work on some social media marketing to help get sales for my store. All right, let's see. It's called TeePublic.com. And let me show you what happens when you go here. My store, hold on, I'm going to get out of there. My store is called Hepperle Designs. And I can access it myself. But when you go and try to search for my store, Eric Hepperle Designs, it can't find it. We couldn't find anything. All this stuff. None of that stuff has anything to do with my store. But I can directly access my store by doing this, by going user, user, and then Eric-Hepperle-Designs. I think that's it. And there we go. Now you can see my beautiful website. I can close that out. And so you can see that this is me. This isn't necessarily how everybody else sees it. But here's my first design, which has a Bible verse and me playing guitar and a sun that I made. And like I made everything else, but this me with the amp and stuff, that's a photo that somebody took that I, what's the word? Filtered, manipulated. How I made it so that I used AI to convert it so that it looked like something that would look vintage. That's what I'm trying to say, vintage. But here's what's cool. You can get all these different types of t-shirts. Let's see, heavyweight, what that is. I guess that just means it's like a bigger t-shirt. Streetwear. I'm not really sure what streetwear is, but you go to the V-neck, right? Standard, premium, vintage. I guess that means it kind of looks slightly acid washed and beat up. Tri-blend. Looks like that's sort of like a sports t-shirt or something. And then active, what's that? Let's see what that is. Oh, okay, it's like a running shirt or something. Tall. And there we go, and there's a tall one. And then there's female also. You won't even believe what my wife told me. I told her about how I ordered all this different merch, you know, so that I could have physical, basically, copies and show people what they can order. And she was like, I told her everything. She was like, okay, well, when you get the shirt, it's mine. So I guess I've given her my man's shirt, but there are female shirts. I'm not sure what a dolman is. I've never heard of that. Well, that's like something for a baby. But so you can go with the different colors. Apparently it's defaulting to a lighter gray for females. But you can get that. Relaxed fit, boxy. And of course there's all the sizes down here. But not only that, if you go down below, there's all these other things you can get that are branded. Even socks. Look at this. I thought this was crazy. They'll put it on socks. I didn't order the socks, but I ordered other stuff. I ordered a hat, and you get the hat in white. And I ordered a mug. And then see, here's more categories you could do. Adult apparel. There's a tank top. Now, if we go in there, there's a female tank top also. Okay, so there's a premium racerback. So I think that means it's like a running thing. Now, a female muscle tank. What's that? Oh, okay. No. That kind of looks like it'd be showing a lot of side boob. But anyway, so if you go to accessories then, that's, you might have seen on the Facebook I posted the magnet. The magnet looks beautiful. And there's a loud noise. And there's a pin. And the pin looks pretty good. There's a bag, shopping tote bag. And what's cool is I can go into these and I can do some editing I want. Let's see. If I do view and uploader, what does that do? Yeah, so I can go into here, the uploader, and I can click me, and it'll show you. That's what that looks like. But I can actually make it a little bit smaller, and I can move it. I think that probably makes more sense given that most cameras these days actually have 1, 2, 3 cameras here to take up this whole section. So that should be a better fit. Now that's centered. And I'll save those changes. And then when we go back here, we should see that the accessories phone case now has been reorganized. That looks good. The pin, might want to edit that a little bit more. So let's go to View and Uploader. And we'll go to the pin. And let's shrink that just a little bit. And I actually think that looks pretty good. Maybe like that is a better balance. That looks good, so we'll save it. And let's take a look at the tote, see how that looks. There's a pin, there's a tote. No, I think that looks good. Let's see. And so this is what it would look like while my wife's carrying it. Okay. I do want to edit that a little bit since the bottom kind of falls out. Alright, so let's go to the tote. And we will do like that. And that should be perfect. And we'll do Save All Changes. And now we'll go back and look at the tote again. Let's see. Okay, over here. And yeah, that's much better. I like that. Okay, and select a size. So if we want 18 by 18. Oh wow, that's a large one. 16 by 16. That one looks nice. Double-sided print. That's interesting. So you have it on both sides. And so there you go. Here's my design on the bag. And then I really like the look of the mug. I think it's kind of weird though that the design is black, but the mug is white. Why couldn't you just give me a black mug? But another option, I mean, that's the one I'm getting. It looked good to me the other day. But another option you can do, we could go into the mug, and we could say, we could just make the default, mug background a different color. And this is what TeePublic allows you to do. And so I can even, let's see, I got a thing here. So I could go like that, and I could make it any one of these colors. Even that color. Don't like that so much, but that's kind of a cool color. Apply to coffee mugs only. So there we go. So we could do that, but also we just do white. I think white kind of looks the best actually. So I'm going to reset that as white, and then this one over here is like a Starbucks coffee mug type thing. I'm going to make that white too. I think that looks best. And so let's save all changes there. But I really like the clothing being black. I think that looks good. All right, so if we go to accessories, There's stickers and magnets, and well, I'm not sure what home goods is. Let's see. Wall art. So that's basically a poster made of paper. But here's a tapestry. That's actually cloth. I think I ordered a tapestry. And the pillow. That's what I'm super psyched about. I want to get my mom a pillow with me on it. I got her a pillow with Bible verses and stuff, and she loved it. Not something I made, but something I bought. But I think she'd totally flip for this right here. Anyway, so that's going to be it for now. And I'm going to next try to figure out how to effectively market this. I will show you one more thing on my Facebook. I used to be really political on my Facebook, but I'm moving away from all the political stuff. It just takes up too much of my time. And I got to run a business now. So let's see. Facebook. So if I go to Facebook. No, hold on. Okay, if I go to my page, you can see I've got this post here pinned. And it's got the Hepperle Designs hashtag. And it's getting some traction. Some people are seeing it. Now I just got to see if I can, how I can encourage people to buy it or see what types of people, what groups of people, who my audience is that would be interested in something like this. I would think anybody that's not afraid of rock and roll and understands that God loves music would probably appreciate it. But anyway, so there you go. Thanks for joining me today on a little Hepperle Designs video. It has been years. So I worked for my last company, Elijah Streams podcast, Christian prophetic podcaster, for 3 years almost as a WordPress web application developer. We'll talk about that in a different video. But the point is, I had almost zero time to do any video recording. So this is the first video in a long time, in 4 or 5 years. And I'm excited because I've got this circle avatar thing figured out with different overlays. And I'm using OBS to record this. And I'm excited about wanting to learn lower thirds and stuff like that. But I got to take it one step at a time. So God bless. Thanks for joining me. And I look forward to seeing your comments below. And have a great day.